Let's talk Scottsdale Stadium. This is the home of the Giants. The Giants are the only team that plays here. The Giants are the only team that plays here. I don't love this stadium. I really don't. I mean, just go down. It's one of the more expensive stadiums in the Cactus League. I don't know if it's because the Giants or if it's in Scottsdale, but it is one of the more expensive tickets in the league. Parking is pretty much non-existent. So this is my recommendation. If you want to go to Scottsdale Stadium and you want to see the Giants play anybody, go on a Saturday. Because if you go during the week and all the businesses are open and running, there is zero parking anywhere. I drive a little Ford Focus, and I parked between an Escalade and a light pole in what I'm not entirely sure was even a spot, and I was probably a half a mile from the stadium where I parked. That was the only spot that I could find because there are free lots in the area, but they fill up super fast. You got to get there early, early, early if you want to get a spot. I went as part of a work event for my day job, and there were people circling for 30 minutes trying to find a spot. At least 30 minutes. I think one car circled for 45 minutes looking for a spot, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm not sure if my car is going to be there. It might be get towed sometime during this game." But if you go on a Saturday, there are businesses that are not open. There are banks and things like that in the area, and you can park in those lots for free on Saturdays. So there's a little hack for you if you're going to go to Scottsdale Stadium. Getting into the stadium wasn't great. The people at the gates were a little testy, and I don't know if they don't like jokes or what. Because I kind of joked about having my keys, and I always bring a see-through bag. I bring some water, and had my keys in there because I don't like having them in my pocket because I don't want them to fall out. And he didn't like it. Didn't like what I said about having my keys in the bag, so he was not happy. I wasn't sure where I was supposed to go because we're going to like a little terrace area uh, for work, and I asked an usher where I was supposed to go, and she seemed very put out by the fact that I asked. So, not the friendliest staff out there in Scottsdale, and I don't know if it's because the people are used to dealing with, because it is definitely a party stadium. You can see out there in right field, there's another terrace. I believe it's owned by the bar out there, and yeah, it was an interesting experience. Team store was big, really big team store. Lots and lots of Giants stuff. If you're a Giants fan, you will love it. And they have other team stores, just open air kiosks basically out in the concourse. So you have lots of places to go buy your Giants stuff when you're there. And maybe a little bit of Cactus Lead stuff if that's what you're looking for. A fan experience of this stadium, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I've been to this stadium twice. The first time was out on the berm, and I didn't love it. It was tough. They do have a nice steep berm so that you can, like I said, it's kind of stadium seating out on the berm, so you can see. Um, but I'm not a big fan of that stadium. One of the things that I think I struggled with is where we were at. We're out on this terrace out down the first base line, and it was a standing room only area, and it was terrible because there was a little bit of seating, and anywhere you stood, you had somebody behind you complaining like, "Hey, I can't see." It's like, bro, you're in standing room only general admission. Like, what do you want from me, right? so, so that was kind of a bummer. Constantly feeling I had to constantly move around because I was in somebody's way. Was a little bit irritating. I would not go in the standing room area only or standing room only area in the general admission over there. I believe it's 21 and older, but I don't think it's worth it. You can get your drinks and you can sit anywhere. I would rather sit behind the home plate. Behind home plate, I think it's covered. There's a little bit of shade there. Um, or if you really want to be a bleacher creature, there's some bleachers down the third base line where you can sit as well. But I haven't had a good experience at Scottsdale Stadium yet. So, and like I said, I've been there twice. It's one of the few stadiums I've actually been to twice. Food, I'll tell you this: I did not finish my hot dog. It's the first time. Yeah, I got their stadium dog thinking it was going to be good. It looked good, but nope. I took 2 bites and chucked it. Didn't like it. My buddy got some nachos, and he said they're all right. He's a Giants fan though, so I think he's a little biased because they came in the helmet. He said they're all right, but he got to keep the helmet, so I think that's really what he was going for. So not great food. The other thing I'm gonna tell you about fan experience is the concourse is super duper small and crowded. If you're a claustrophobic, this is not the stadium for you. Don't enter through home plate. Enter down the third base line, down I think it's down Scottsdale Road a little bit up north on Scottsdale Road, just a little bit. Uh, the entrance behind home plate, you come in and it's super duper low. It feels really low, and there's like a bunch of piping and stuff, and it's really cramped. It's a really narrow area. It's very dark. I had to take my sunglasses off while I was walking through there because the lighting wasn't very good. So that that's one thing I don't like about it either. I get a little claustrophobic in cramped spaces like that with a lot of people. Seating, there's quite a bit of seating. I can't speak to the seats because I've never actually sat in a seat there. I've only done GA, um, but there's a lot once you get to about first base and around, and then down past third base. There's some bleachers that you can sit in out there as well. There's shade behind home plate, like I said. The overall ballpark feel, I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's just kind of weird. It does feel like if you're with the guys on a Saturday, that's going to be the place to be. Because I've said this before that there are bars all over this stadium. Like there's the one out in right field. You can get drinks pretty much anywhere else. There's the GA area where we were. That's the 21 and plus only. Yeah. So if that's what you're going for, you'll get it there for sure. But like I said, go on a Saturday so you can get a parking spot. Oh, back to food real quick. They have a lot of food trucks. They do have a lot of food trucks. I didn't take the time to get a food truck, anything from a food truck, because I kind of lost my appetite after the hot dog. But they do have a lot of food truck options there. That would probably be a better way to go if you go. Getting out, like I said, no parking lot, no parking. So you're gonna have to walk. And even then, depending on where you are, it might take a bit to get out. So go to Scottsdale Stadium on a Saturday if you're going to go, if you want to go see your Giants.